Yeah, right. I would say there's a few thousand that are right behind me, trying to like fill up the ring of that inner circle of the Capitol. Mitchell, if you want to go ahead and pan right behind me, I'll step out of the way. But you can see that there are just thousands here, a very large crowd. And honestly, officials, they're expecting these lawns to fill up as folks come in and march in. Folks have been struggling with parking, if you can imagine, here at the No Kings, but there's so many people here. And honestly, what folks have been telling me is that they're feeling very good to be here. They're feeling positive to be here, but there's also some emotions there as well of just anger with the Trump administration. This is the No Kings rally, and of course they're protesting against President Trump's policies. You see a lot of no ICE signs that folks have. You see a lot of signs saying that immigrants are welcomed here. And so as this crowd starts filling up, we're also going to see more street closures. Many of them have already started. And in terms of security, we are seeing plenty of officers, a few hundred officers just within eyesight. Those are the folks that are in that yellow jacket. Those yellow jackets, we're seeing sheriffs, we're seeing St. Paul police, we're seeing a number of law enforcement folks from Ramsey County here at the state capitol. Again, the marches, it's going to be a little bit until they come here, but you can see that the stage is behind me. Press is starting to set up on those risers, and the lucky ones are already had to get here a few hours early to be able to get that view of the stage. But you can see that if you want to pan again behind me, Mitchell, just so you can see exactly what the crowd's dealing with, we have some monitors. See the stage once the speeches, once the performances start. It'll be a little difficult the farther you get back, but for those that are coming early and going straight to the Capitol, they'll have some pretty good spots again. So we'll check back in with those crews, hopefully, with Raya and those crews that are following those folks that are coming from all around St. Paul at those 3 locations.
Yeah, Sammy, thank you so much for that update. Speaking of those crews, let's check in with a reporter, Kent Erdahl, who is currently at St. Paul College. That's one of the locations that people have gathered at and are ready to march to the state capitol at about 2 o'clock. Kent, what are you seeing out there?
Yeah, thousands and thousands of people have been here listening to music and speakers, and I think Dave Porter can show here. We're on top of a parking garage above the parking lot here at St. Paul. You can see this crowd of thousands is starting to move out of here and make their way down across the interstate. We're about 1.5 miles from the state capitol here, and there are still people just beginning to file down the sidewalks across the bridge here and get there. And if you take a look just behind here, there's still hundreds of people who have just found parking, apparently just trying to get here. A lot of people, they were going to be starting this march, we were told, at about noon from this location. Again, it's one of 3 locations that are going to the state capitol, but they're just beginning to get mobilized, and the speakers haven't even said anything formal about March yet. It's just, I think a lot of people are anxious to get down to the Capitol. Speaking of those who are marching today, I ran into Peter up here who had just parked. And Peter, you've got a cane. It looks like you're doing your best to be out here, but you said you're going to be marching, and I want to find out, why is it that you want to be out here today?
Well, hey, I'm here because I worked 35 years in an iron foundry, Smith Foundry, actually, and I wore out my body. I had an artificial hip, artificial ankle. I've earned my benefits, and the MAGA regime was threatening both Social Security and Medicare. So I'm here in solidarity with everyone else who's marching today.
It's a cold day. It's not going to be an easy walk from here, about 1.5 miles. But you wanted to do this, and are you feeling up for it?
Well, it's a cold day, and I'm not going to get overheated. I'll be limping along. I'll make the march despite my artificial joints. I'm happy to be here.
All right, Peter. Many people here are motivated by many different things for being out at this march today. We'll be hearing from obviously many people today and what motivated them to come out. One thing that we've heard from a lot of speakers that's really, and we've seen a lot of the same signs that we saw during the ICE operation here in the Twin Cities, and it did seem to be something that many people here had recognized, others that had stood up and done different things during the ICE operation. So I'm sure that'll be a theme today. We've seen several signs about the war, several other things. Obviously, these protests began even a year before this. Before many of these things, you know, with the war in Iran, and ICE really came into our backyard. So it'll be interesting to see. We're going to be following and seeing how big these crowds get, of course. But for now, I'll send it back to you, Raya.